Back at Heinz Field, weather here in Pittsburgh, temperature 74 degrees. It's actually been a fantastic weekend. Sun just starting to come out for this one. Mike Munchak, Pro Football Hall of Famer, the only current NFL head coach who's in the Hall of Fame, native of Scranton, Pennsylvania, but didn't grow up a Steelers fan, grew up a Philadelphia Eagle fan. Mike Tomlin now in his 7th year as the head coach of the Steelers, 6-0 as the head man in home openers. The Titans and the Steelers. Tennessee has won the toss. Pittsburgh will kick it off. And we're underway from the Steel City. Sweezum rolls it towards the goal line, and Reynaud will take a knee. Titans will have it at the 20-yard line to open things up. Tennessee, a team that has not been to the playoffs since 2008, and they're putting a lot of responsibility on Jake Locker now in his 3rd year in the NFL.
Yeah, he told us yesterday he has to be less inclined to try to make a big play and just be satisfied with taking what the old defense presents to him and concentrate on just moving the chains. The officials now are discussing whether Reynaud came out of the end zone with this ball and then back into the end zone to down it. It was a poor kickoff for the Steelers. Sweezum just kind of line drive shot, and so Reynaud decided because the timing was off, he was going to keep it in the end zone. But did he come out of the end zone? Yes, he did. The ball never crosses the plane. He pulls it back into the end zone.
What a way to start your season. Mike Munchak is looking at it on the big screen, and the fans just got to look at it as well.
After consultation with the crew, we have a safety. The receiver caught the ball in the field of play, stepped back into the end zone, and took a knee.
That's an excellent call by the officials.
2 points, Pittsburgh.
Good job getting together to discuss it. And they clearly, ball was pulled back into the end zone by Reynaud. And what a horrible way to start your 2013 season.
Absolutely brutal. The timing was just off for Reynaud. The foot was out of the end zone, the left foot.
And the ball was pulled across the goal line by Reynaud, resulting in a 2-point safety.
5-year veteran out of West Virginia.
We're so used to seeing long kickoffs that returners received 8 yards deep in the end zone or so, and they down it, ball comes out to the 20. But this is a scoring play, so it will be reviewed upstairs, but I don't see how they can change their mind by the officials that made the call on the field.
Our referee Jerome Boger, last game he did was the Super Bowl. Automatic review because it was a scoring play, a safety on the field. And here's the announcement officially.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It's a safety. The receiver stepped out into the field of play, got the ball in the field of play, and stepped back into the end zone and took a knee. 2 points, Pittsburgh.
Dan, it's got to be the quickest score in NFL history.
Yeah, 3 seconds. I can't imagine anything faster than that. You know, and it was a line drive kickoff by Sean Sweezum. And it wasn't one that gave a lot of hang time that would allow coverage. So there was plenty of time and room for Reynaud to pick that ball up and still develop a kickoff return.
Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, a gift to start their season. Now a free kick. Brett Kern, deep man Antonio Brown. Returnable from the 25. Brown's got a lane up the middle. Spin move, he's brought down just across the 40-yard line on a 16-yard return. Cody Sensabaugh with the hit on special teams. Well, we met Jake Locker very briefly, and now we meet Ben Roethlisberger. Hard to believe he's in his 10th year in the NFL.
He told us yesterday that he realizes that with the type of receivers he has to throw to, it's important to get them the ball more quickly so they can use their speed and quickness to make yards. Now in his 2nd year with offensive coordinator Todd Haley, he's much more confident and comfortable with the offensive system.
Dan, they open up with 6 offensive linemen. Kelvin Beachum is in. There are issues at tight end because of the injury to Heath Miller and Matt Spaeth, who's now on IR. or he's on the PUP list. Miller was taken off the PUP list as well. From the 41, Roethlisberger airing it out on first down. Deep ball, Sanders, incomplete. Jason McCourty with him in coverage.
A little play action fake to come in with the extra lineman to give the run look here. But McCourty's in great shape here. He eyes the ball, and just as the ball comes to the receiver, Sanders, he's there with the left hand. Tries to grab him with the right hand, doesn't do it. Perfect timing by McCourty.
2-0 lead for Pittsburgh, just underway. NFL kickoff weekend. 3 receivers set for Roethlisberger. Running play. Stevens howling, getting the opportunity, trying to take it to the outside. Moses Foku limits him to a 2-yard gain. Take a look at the Pittsburgh offense. On this offensive line, David DeCastro was a rookie last year, went out in preseason, missed most of the season. Right knee injury. He's back, ready to go. Second year out of Stanford. Backs and receivers for Pittsburgh. We talked about tight end. They'll be mixing and matching with David Paulson, with David Johnson. You'll see Will Johnson in the H-back role as well for Pittsburgh. Jericho Cotchery checks in on a 3rd and 8. Stevens howling in the backfield along with Cotchery. Roethlisberger out of the gun. 3rd and long, no pressure. Connection made, and it's Cotchery. The 10-year veteran has got a first down for the Steelers. They'll move the chains.
And he only caught 17 balls all last year, but with Heath Miller out in the tight end position in question, you're going to see Cotchery a lot early in the season, catching balls in this type of area between the numbers. That was good for 11 yards, but at key, and as you said, there was absolutely no pass rush from the Titans.
Kelvin Beachum remains on the field, number 68. He's a backup tackle and guard. He played left tackle at SMU, now in his second year, a 7th-round draft pick. David Paulson is in the game. Running play. Isaac Redmond keeps the legs churning, and he's chopped down. Redmond cannot break free of Ropati Patoi Tua. It's a 1-yard gain. Defensively for Tennessee, last year it was rough. Last in the NFL, most points allowed in franchise history. Change up front. Sammy Hill came over as a free agent from Detroit. Linebackers, Foku, formerly with Philadelphia and Indianapolis, now manning the middle. And in the secondary, experience. Bernard Pollard won a Super Bowl with Baltimore last season. Reputation as a big hitter in this league. 2nd and 9, 3 receivers set. Paulson, the motion man. Nickel package, Cody Sensabaugh in for Tennessee. Timing route, a little too high for Sanders. Incomplete.
Pass intended for Sanders, incomplete.
That's a type of play where Roethlisberger is faking the screen pass to the wide receiver and then trying to get the blocking receiver down the sidelines. Again, at 5'11", Sanders too short to grab this ball, but this is one on Big Ben. He knows it too.
These two teams didn't meet last season back in October. Tennessee with a 26-23 win at home. Baronis a field goal to win it. Ranked 3rd in the NFL in 3rd down conversions last season. Roethlisberger has some room. He's going to throw it. Up Antonio Brown. First down to the 25. It's a 20-yard hookup. Tackle made by Sensabaugh for Tennessee.
And you know, instead of calling this extending the play, we ought to just call this a Roethlisberger. Because nobody does it better. Sees the opening, keeps his eyes down the field. His receivers know what to do. When he's in trouble, they're going to work their way back to him. Watches Sanders does just that, finds the hole, and picks up another first down.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin said, this is in Ben's blood. This is just the way he plays. It's a natural act for him, like breathing. On first down, a little bit of trickery. Brown on the end around, and he zigzags out of bounds. Did a lot of work for a 3.5, 4-yard gain. Good block from David Paulson. It's 2nd down for the Steelers.
But one of the things that this play helps is it helps in pursuit. It keeps the defensive ends from running too fast. This time, it's Akeem Ayers who's going to get blocked by Paulson, but you can see the help on the outside. Big addition to the secondary is Bernard Pollard, who came over from Baltimore, a real veteran leader there in the secondary.
8th play of the drive. Call it 2nd and 6 from the 21. Redmond is in. Motion man is David Johnson. Running play, Redmond. Spin move. He's elusive, but he's not that elusive. Look at all the Titan defenders. Pollard leading that charge. It's a loss of 2 on the play. Redmond's getting the opportunity with the injury to Le'Veon Bell. And an injured Steeler on the play, and it's Maurkice Pouncey.
Well, if there's one guy that the offensive line can ill afford to lose, it's their center, Maurkice Pouncey.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Verizon. Never be without football with NFL Mobile from Verizon. And by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
In Pittsburgh, the concern right now for 3-time Pro Bowler Maurkice Pouncey. He has been a rock for the Steelers. It's the right leg of Pouncey.
You see David DeCastro. Unfortunately, he inadvertently ran into Pouncey's leg as he was trying to make a block, and he is emotionally distraught for good reason. Check this out. DeCastro, the first-round pick last year. Watch as he's working on the inside here, trying to get a block. Pouncey does such a good job on Sammy Hill. Just one of those unfortunate circumstances that happens. But now this really changes things for the Steelers because Kelvin Beachum will move to center. And that will affect the running game plans for the Steelers because Beachum, as we've already seen, has been lining up as a tight end to help bolster that running attack.
Maurkice Pouncey, one of the best centers in the NFL. Number 18 pick back in 2010. His twin brother Mike with Miami. And his teammates offering encouragement right now, but this is deflating.
Yeah, it's deflated the entire stadium.
Ben Roethlisberger working with Kelvin Beachum. This was when they were checking Pouncey out, and the reality that his Pro Bowl center is not going to be a part of this.
Also, the captain of this team really has taken a strong leadership position this year. You can see how his teammates feel about him. And he will be evaluated in the locker room immediately.
Voted team captain along with Roethlisberger, Kiesel, Clark defensively. We're at the 11:02 mark of the first quarter of the season. Pouncey was injured last year against Tennessee as well.
You know, it was so ironic on that play because Pouncey did such a good job on Sammy Hill that DeCastro's man on that play was to come down and try to cut Sammy Hill. And instead, because of the block by Pouncey, he hit Pouncey instead.
So Kelvin Beachum is in at center on a 3rd and 8 for the Steelers. Stevens Howling is back in for Pittsburgh. They lead 2-0. They've converted both attempts on 3rd down on this drive. From the gun, rush is coming. Roethlisberger gets rid of it. The extension by Cotchery. Cody Sensabaugh could not keep him behind the mark.
Great pressure by Derek Morgan right in the face of Roethlisberger, but he's used to this type of pressure. Watch 91 from the right side of the screen, and now this effort at the end of the play by Cotchery. Just a super effort to get that ball across the line to gain for the first down.
Titans were under the impression the knee may have been down before the extension by Cotchery. But a new set of downs to work with for Pittsburgh. Under 10 minutes to go now in the first. Isaac Redmond back in. Redmond trying to cut it to the outside. Tremendous pursuit by Tennessee. Hakeem Ayers would not let him get by. It's no gain on the play.
Now that might have been worth a challenge by Mike Munchak, is to take a look at that one because it was a 3rd down. If they don't make it, the Steelers probably would have lined up for a field goal try, but the word did not come down fast enough from the press box to give Munchak the option to challenge that play.
Long drive, 11th play of this drive for Pittsburgh. They've split it right down the middle. 5 running plays, 5 passes. Stevens Howling, formerly with Arizona, is back in. Roethlisberger, shotgun. High snap, handle, pump fake, Roethlisberger. Hits Sanders. Thrown down by Zach Brown. But Roethlisberger is picking apart this Tennessee defense through the air. Short passes, as you touched on, Dan. That's what the wide receivers lend their talents towards.
Well, we got to keep an eye on that snap, too, the rest of the afternoon. Great job inside by Sanders. A little pivot route there. Gets away, and that really gives the Steelers another chance at a big play here at third and real short.
Michael Palmer checks in, tight end. It's Redmond and David Johnson now. A lot of switching around in their personnel. And it's David Johnson in the backfield. Inside handoff. Redmond fumbles the football. Recovered by the Titans. Moses Foku comes up with it. The Steelers cough it up. What a strange start to this one here in Pittsburgh. Turnover.
Derek Morgan will go low on Redmond, pops that ball loose, and it'll be Titan ball at the 20.
We've had a lot happen in a short period of time here in Pittsburgh. Here's the latest.
Well, this is a high handoff by Roethlisberger. Normally you want to give him the ball right below the numbers, right in the so-called breadbasket, but this one is a little bit top shelf. I don't think Redmond ever got his hands around this ball. As strange a start to a season as you'll ever see.
So now we see the Tennessee offense for the first time. 1st and 10 from the 20. Play action. Locker's got a gun. Fires it in to the 35-yard line. Catch made by Kenny Britt. Jake Locker, the 15-yard hookup. Take a look at the Tennessee offense. Changes up front. Andy Levitre comes over from Buffalo. Signed a 6-year, $46.8 million deal. Rob Turner, Chance Warmack, the improvements on the offensive line. And Delaney Walker, multi-purpose, versatile talent. Came over from San Francisco. Replaces Jared Cook, who's now in St. Louis. Locker throwing again. And hooks up with Walker for another strong gain on first down. 7-yard pickup. Lawrence Timmons with a hit. Defensively for Pittsburgh, number 1 in the league each of the last 2 years. Brett Kiesel has been so steady for this team, a Pro Bowler back in 2010. Linebackers, they just want Lamar Woodley to be healthy. That was the issue last year. Still productive, but just couldn't stay on the field as consistently enough. And in the secondary, Cortez Allen. Now the starter Keenan Lewis is in New Orleans after signing the big free agent deal. Locker the slide. He had Johnson out on his hip for a potential pitch. A 5-yard pickup for Locker, who does have running ability, Dan.
He's got great speed. He's a big guy. He's strong. And now he's showing his smarts with the slide into second for a first down.
And that was a big storyline when we sat down with Locker. The fact that he feels like his biggest improvement has come in consistency. He was up and down last year. He's just focused on moving the chains. Don't force the big plays. He doesn't have to be flashy to be successful. New set of downs. Sean Green getting the carry, and Green takes it across midfield for a 4-yard pickup. McClendon, the first man there, now in for Casey Hampton. Jake Locker's numbers from last year.
Well, and going forward, as we look forward, he talked about progressions and reading the first receiver, coming off him, going to the second receiver. He's already done that twice in this game, but that's where you see the improvement, hopefully, in a young quarterback. Plus, he's got to stay healthy.
2nd and 6 now. Chris Johnson in the backfield. Three receivers set. Protection holds up initially. Locker hit as he throws, and nobody home. Kiesel laying the wood. Our first NFL Today update of the season. We send it to New York. JB and Boomer.
Nice start for Alex Smith. New coach, new quarterback, new wide receiver. Kansas City only threw 8 TD passes yesterday. There's number 1 for Alex Smith. They lead Jacksonville 7-2. Dexter McCluster, big punt return to 36 yards. Key play, Ian and Dan.
And guys, Kansas City, one of those teams that has a lot of optimism, believes that they can be a factor similar to Tennessee in their mindset coming into this season. On a 3rd and 6, shotgun for Locker. Out of the pocket. Locker trying to make a play, floats it to the open man. And it's Damian Williams with the catch and the first down. This drive will continue after the 13-yard pass and catch. Locker to Williams.
Well, the pressure from the Steelers are all standing up, so it's hard to tell who's coming. Polamalu comes on the blitz. He gets picked up nicely by the rookie Chance Warmack, and then this is that mobility. Had a chance to run for it maybe, but then Williams comes back to the quarterback as he's instructed to do. Big first down for Tennessee.
And a double tight end set now for Tennessee with Stevens and Taylor Thompson, the second-year tight end out of SMU. Stutter step, Chris Johnson able to lean forward and takes it to the 31. It's a 5-yard pickup. Ryan Clark among those over there for Pittsburgh.
Johnson got to the corner that time and had to wait for his blocking to develop. And you think, well, he didn't get any yardage on that play. And he dives forward, and all of a sudden it's second down and 5.
5 straight 1,000-yard seasons for Johnson. That's the second longest active streak in the NFL behind Steven Jackson, who's done it 8 straight years. 8th play of the drive, 2nd and 5 with Pittsburgh in front 2-0. Steelers crowd the line, give it to Johnson. Nothing there. Ziggy Hood wraps him up from behind. A gain of 1 on the acceleration by Johnson.
Well, Ziggy Hood is going to drop down into the defensive tackle spot here and then shoot the gap. They've got to really be aware of the cutback against Chris Johnson, but nobody blocks Hood. He jumps on the legs of Chris Johnson. Big play by Ziggy Hood.
Jarvis Jones is in, talented playmaker, rookie out of Georgia, number 95 for Pittsburgh, SEC Defensive Player of the Year. 3rd and 4 for Tennessee from the Pittsburgh 30. Locker operating out of the gun. Play clock winding down. They get the snap off. Locker settles in. Couldn't get it to Walker, and a flag is thrown.
And that flag is in the secondary, so you might expect pass interference. But this one's going to go against Tennessee. Good pressure again on Locker by that front of the Steelers.
Pass interference. Offense, number 82. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
So back it up after Walker is called on the PI. Line of scrimmage is now the 40-yard line. They were looking at about a 48-yard field goal. William Gay checks in for Pittsburgh in the nickel. 3:39 to go in this first quarter. The Steelers lead the Titans 2-0. 20 new players on this Titans roster. They spent $100 million this offseason to upgrade the personnel. Play clock winding down. Locker offline. Trying to hit Kendall Wright, the second-year wideout from Baylor. And this drive stalls in Pittsburgh territory.
Well, the pressure on Locker, it's getting to him a little bit here because on this route to the inside, he's got his man, Kendall Wright, and with Wright's ability to run after the catch, who knows where this one ends because it's man-to-man coverage. Getting in is Cameron Hayward that time, but it's tough to identify who's coming at the quarterback when they're all standing up and moving around at the ball when the ball is snapped.
6-year veteran Brett Kern is in. So that penalty cost them a chance at a field goal. Kern trying to pin the Steelers deep. Antonio Brown waiting for it. Fair catch called for at the 9, and that's where the Steelers will have it after the 31-yard punt. Late stages, first quarter, kickoff weekend in Pittsburgh.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by the 2013 Ford F-150 with EcoBoost.
Back in Pittsburgh, city of bridges, 446 of them. Dan and I crossed about 420 over the course of the weekend. We were lost maybe just once, twice. Tough town to navigate. 2-0 Pittsburgh in front, 3:28 to go in this first quarter. Isaac Redman, who coughed up the football deep in Tennessee territory, is in there for Pittsburgh. Sanders goes in motion. Ball spotted at the Steelers' 9-yard line. Roethlisberger to throw it. Little high for Sanders. He handles it, gives them some breathing room with an 8-yard pickup. Jason McCourty will get credit for the tackle. Hey, fantasy football fans, if you want to play with the best, there's still time to get started on the most awarded fantasy site. Sign up now at cbssports.com/football.
Boy, with the injury to Marquise Pouncey, the Steelers only have one other offensive lineman that can play today. Guy Wimper. Kelvin Beachum now moves to center, so injuries have been a big problem the last couple of years, and along that offensive line has already hurt them already.
Beachum did start 5 games last year. Screen for Brown. Bangs his way out across the 20. It's a 4-yard pickup. And a first down. Patoi Tua with a stop for Tennessee. So on that offensive line, Kelvin Beachum, who was playing as an extra offensive lineman in a tight end role because they've been banged up at that position, now shifts to center. Second-year pro out of SMU. And Guy Wimper, an 8-year veteran, formerly with the Giants and Jacksonville, is the only backup offensive lineman. Right knee for Pouncey. And it looked serious. Roethlisberger, play fake. Pump, and he gets stamped. Ben Roethlisberger is sacked. The pressure collapses with Jarrell Casey there.
Well, play action passing isn't going to work if you're not running the ball. Watch Akeem Ayers collapse the pocket. And there's just no fooling that Tennessee defense. They're crowding the line of scrimmage, been able to stop the run so far, not respecting the fake by Roethlisberger.
And Dan Felix Jones, who was just acquired from Philadelphia in a trade, could not handle Jarrell Casey off the play fake. Loss of 6. Stevens Howling. Shifty. 5'7", 185 pounds. Zach Brown, one of the fastest linebackers in the NFL, comes over to make the play. And it's a 1-yard gain for Stevens Howling.
Well, that's what they're averaging. 7 carries for 7 yards, the longest run on a reverse by Antonio Brown of 4 yards.
Dan, they were number 26 in the NFL last season rushing the football, 96 yards per game. That is not Steeler-like. Lowest for Pittsburgh since 2003.
That's why they drafted Le'Veon Bell from Michigan State.
Bell out with a foot injury. No word if he'll be ready for week 2 against Cincinnati. Roethlisberger trying to get out of trouble. And Roethlisberger is dumped by Brown. Pittsburgh will punt. Tennessee making a statement defensively.
Yeah, a great series for Tennessee. It'll be interesting to follow the play calling defensively for the Titans today, with Greg Williams coming back as an assistant, working closely with defensive coordinator Jerry Gray. So far, so good for the Titans.
Yeah, it is a huge storyline. Greg Williams, 1-year suspension for his role in the Saints bounty gate. Zoltan Mesko came over from New England after being waived. Darius Reynaud, who made the mistake to open up the game. And Reynaud, he was holding that ball a little loosely, but able to secure it on a 12-yard return, 51-yard punt. Shamarko Thomas with a stop on special teams. We're coming back. Standing room only section for the Pittsburgh Steelers fans. A 2-0 lead for Pittsburgh in a rather bizarre first quarter of this 2013 season. Tennessee takes over. Good field position at the 46-yard line. Locker faked the handoff to Johnson. Locker steps and throws. Nobody there. He just bounced it to the former Steeler Nate Washington, who won a couple of Super Bowls with Pittsburgh.
Interesting the way they tried to blitz Troy Polamalu that time. He got picked up easily. In fact, Locker had plenty of time, but just misfired on that throw.
Troy Polamalu, 7 games last season, suffered with a calf injury. Just 1 full season for Polamalu in the last 4 years. 5 receivers set. Locker from the gun, 9 seconds to go in the first. Pressure coming. Locker slammed down Lamar Woodley. That is career sack number 53 for Woodley. And a loss of 8 on the play. End of the first quarter, the Steelers leading the Titans 2-0. We'll come back to Pittsburgh after these messages with second quarter action. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew in Pittsburgh. The Steelers lead the Titans 2-0 as we start the second quarter. 3rd and 18 for Tennessee. Give it to Chris Johnson. Hit by Woodley. Timmons collaborating. A 3-yard pickup. The Titans will punt. We've just been given word that Marquise Pouncey is on his way to the hospital for an MRI on that right knee. Brett Kern will punt it. Antonio Brown, the returner for Pittsburgh, standing at his own 14-yard line. Kern averages 45.1 yards per punt in his career, now in his 6th year. Not much of a rush. Kern gets it off cleanly, working the sideline, and a good punt.
Well, it has been a bizarre first quarter, no question about it. Just 3 seconds into the game, the Steelers score on this brain cramp by Renaud as he takes the ball back into the end zone. And then the injury to Pouncey as DeCastro takes his right knee out. And then with the Steelers threatening deep in the Titans territory, a bad exchange between Roethlisberger and Redmond leads to that fumble in the end zone. This is going to be a defensive battle, and obviously both defensive lines and linebackers are dominating the line of scrimmage for both these teams. These offensive lines that have been retooled, reworked, shuffled around are just out of sync so far and really getting their tails whipped.
55-yard punt from Kern pins the Steelers back of their own 4-yard line. Double tight end set. Sanders goes in motion. David Paulson is in there. Here's Roethlisberger out of the end zone. Throws to Antonio Brown. And a first down across the 15-yard line. Antonio Brown, Pro Bowl kick returner in 2011. He's a big play threat, we know, but he doesn't have Mike Wallace on the other side, so people are curious to see how these receivers will develop this season with Ben Roethlisberger.
And not only no Mike Wallace, but so far no Heath Miller as well, so the load is really being put on number 84 today. He's got a bunch of catches in this first half, 3 for 37 already.
Isaac Redmond, the single setback. Redmond in his 4th year out of Bowie State. He gets the carry. Redmond drags some defenders with him, including Derek Morgan. 2.5-yard gain for Redmond, former member of the practice squad. They went 8-8 last year. 5 of their 8 losses came by 3 points, but it was out of character for Mike Tomlin's team. More than 2 turnovers in a game 9 times last year. They lost 16 fumbles. The record in close games, that was a hallmark for them in previous years. They would find ways to win the tight ones. Redmond stays in there for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger will shift now out of the gun, and he'll send Sanders to the left side. Roethlisberger knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Patoi Tua, who is 6'8", 298 pounds, got his hand on it. NFL Today update. Let's head to New York. JB and Boomer.
Andy Dalton, A.J. Green. Andy Dalton starts the game off by throwing an interception, then comes back, leads his team 9 plays, 97 yards, 2-yard touchdown pass to A.J. Green, 7-7. See you Monday night, Ian.
Yeah, looking forward to it in D.C. Boomer and I work in the radio game. You'll be with Kevin Harlan doing the second half of the doubleheader on radio.
San Diego. Nice.
Yeah, you know a little something about that place. 3rd and 8. Roethlisberger on the slant to Brown. Great chemistry between those two. 12-yard pass play. McCourty there defensively. They'll move the chains once again.
And I think you've seen the influence that time of Greg Williams. He brought the blitz on 3rd and long with the Steelers backed up. That exposed the secondary to man-to-man coverage, and getting inside quickly is Antonio Brown on Jason McCourty. But the pass protection was there that time for Roethlisberger. He's also getting rid of the ball more quickly so far in this game.
Big Ben is now 8 of 11, 85 yards. He came in 156 yards away from 30,000. for his career. Bootleg. Roethlisberger makes the right choice. David Johnson. Tremendous instincts. Bernard Pollard with the takedown. 11 yards from Roethlisberger to Johnson.
Well, Zach Brown's only in his second year. He's number 55 here, and he gets fooled by the savvy, if you will, of Roethlisberger. He expected Roethlisberger to continue on the bootleg there. Big Ben bought a half a second. That's all he needed to get that ball to David Johnson.
There is Greg Williams, added as a senior assistant coach with the defense. Former head coach with the Buffalo Bills. Redmond. Oh, he loses the football!
I think he got it back, though.
Able to cover up. Redmond upset at himself. We talked to him. He mentioned that this opportunity, he's worked hard to get to this point, starting for an NFL team in week 1, and he knew if he performed at a high level, it would be hard to sit him down. It has not been smooth so far for Isaac Redmond.
No, it hasn't. Twice he's fumbled the ball now. The bad exchange on the first one, but that one was all on him. He spun in the hole and the ball came loose.
2nd and 15. Stevens Howling. Nice cut by Stevens Howling to cross the 40-yard line. Yeah, how about this dynamic with Greg Williams and Jerry Gray? They have so much history together, which is really the only reason why this works right now, bringing Greg Williams on.
And Greg is a guy that's going to be very aggressive, whereas Jerry Gray more conservative. So as this game develops and as the season develops, we'll see who has the most influence on this defense. But Roethlisberger knows one thing. He's going to prepare for the pressure and hope that he gets zoned, as he's probably going to get here as the Titans look to rush only 3.
From the gun, Roethlisberger underneath. The Titans read it. Sanders gets drilled by McCourty, one of the captains of the Titans. McCourty, a 5-year veteran who combines size and speed. And a little bit of a strange play call in that situation.
Yeah, 3rd and real long. This is a very conservative call by Todd Haley. Roethlisberger not seeing the corner. McCourty coming up. The block is missed by Paulson. And you've got a punter out on the field.
Zoltan Mesko, born in Romania, moved to the United States at the age of 11. Darius Reynaud waiting for it. Fields it cleanly at the 15. Chopped down just short of the 20-yard line. A 46-yard punt. Curtis Brown makes the play on special teams. 2-0 lead for Pittsburgh in the second. 9:16 to play. First half here in Pittsburgh. The Steelers 2, the Titans nothing. It's a Pittsburgh team that started last season 6-3, then finished the year at 2-5. Tennessee got off to a rough start. 1-4 last year and then struggled at the end. Lost 4 of their last 6. Chris Johnson busting it to the outside. Good block by Levitri. And a perfect moment for our Fouts focus, a change on that offensive line.
Yeah, head coach Mike Munchak drafted Chance Warmack number 10 overall because they needed help along that offensive line. 6'2", 323, very athletic. And if he can open holes such as these when he was at Alabama, then Chris Johnson will have a huge year. And this iron will have been a chance well worth taking.
So the addition of Warmack, Rob Turner came over from St. Louis, Levitri from Buffalo. They recognized the weakness and addressed it during the offseason. 2nd and 3. Oh! Johnson drilled by Jarvis Jones. Like he was shot out of a cannon. The rookie out of Georgia.
Yeah, his first big play in the NFL. Watch as he jumps inside and drops Johnson in the backfield. Got inside the tight end Delaney Walker.
On 3rd and 5, Nate Washington with the catch and a flag thrown back at the 26-yard line. That's 11 yards through the air. Locker to Washington.
Flag on the play.
Illegal formation. This one's coming back.
Illegal shift. Offense. The offensive players never got set. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
And that is squarely on the shoulders of Jake Locker. You got to make sure your linemen and everybody is set. You can see the quick snap there. Everybody was moving.
So line of scrimmage is the 20-yard line. Had a first down on the throw to Washington. There is Jarvis Jones, number 17 pick, All-American, Jack Lambert Trophy from Georgia. Had 14.5 sacks last season. He's going to be a big part of this Steelers defense. On third down, Locker from the gun. Locker steps, knocked up in the air. Incomplete. Polamalu could not bring it in. Kendall Wright, the intended target for Tennessee.
You're so used to seeing Polamalu make plays like this that it's a shock he doesn't come up with his interception. Ball is in the air for an eternity after the fastball from Locker out to Wright. Wright is being held there. That should have been called pass interference. Ball up in the air, and Polamalu with the right hand. Just can't get it before it hits the ground.
William Gay got his hand in there on Kendall Wright. Brett Kern will punt it once again. Antonio Brown waiting for it at the 30. Moves forward, brings it in at the 40. Makes his move upfield and then is dumped with a flag thrown as he crossed the 45. Patrick Bailey with a stop on special teams, and Kern limping a bit as he makes his way towards the Tennessee sideline.
No, the way the offenses are playing today, this could be significant.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team, number 93. 10-yard penalty. Pittsburgh keeps the ball. First down.
It's Jason Worlds called on the penalty, and Brett Kern is banged up. Take another look on the release by Kern.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV.
Two points were put on the board 3 seconds into this game, and that's where we still stand. 2-0 Pittsburgh. Sunday, the NFL on CBS. Doubleheader headlined by Manning versus Manning. The Broncos take on the Giants in the late game. The early games, the Chargers meet the Eagles. Andrew Luck leads the Colts against the Dolphins. It all starts with JB and Company. The NFL Today presented by Southwest Airlines at noon Eastern Time right here on CBS. First and 10 for the Steelers after the penalty. They back up to the 31-yard line. Roethlisberger take the handoff. Roethlisberger in the pocket, up for grabs, intercepted, picked off by Werner, and the officials come over to make the indication. Roethlisberger turns it over. Tennessee takes over in Pittsburgh territory as Roethlisberger got hit by Hill.
Well, he's been under constant pressure in the pocket here. That ball comes out to almost end over end. What an effort by Alteron Werner to lay out and pick that one off. He got 2 last year and off to a great start. He was in a real battle with Tommy Campbell for that cornerback spot. But it always helps to have pressure on the quarterback. 94 is Sammy Hill. Boku is in there as well from his middle linebacker spot. So a lot of blitzing by the Titans on Roethlisberger in the last 2 possessions for Pittsburgh.
26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions for Roethlisberger last year. 7th career INT for Werner. They're going to take a look at it to see if it was clean for Alteron Werner. 2-0, Steelers lead it. Jerome Boger will make the official call.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands as an interception. First down, Tennessee.
So the UCLA product, Alteron Werner, with his first interception of the season.
Yeah, watch his right hand now. It'll be under the ball, cradling it against his body. It's a super effort, number one, to get to the ball, and then to have the presence of mind to keep it off the turf.
Titans take over at the 49-yard line of Pittsburgh. Little diamond package there for Tennessee. And it's Chris Johnson. Putting the helmet down and driving for 4 yards to the 45 of the Steelers.
I'm talking to Dow Loggins, the offensive coordinator, about Johnson. He's been impressed with how hard he worked this year. He's been motivated by numbers, but not to the detriment of the team. I expect him to have a big year this year for Tennessee.
Polamalu trying to time it. He may have been offsides.
Yeah.
Johnson had nowhere to go. Lamar Woodley, the first man there. Loss of 2 on the play, but Polamalu may have jumped the gun.
Outside, defense number 43 in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
7-time Pro Bowler who has made a living out of doing that throughout his 11-year NFL career.
Yeah, he's been close a couple of times today, but you can see he never goes back. That right foot is actually offsides, and probably some of that hair too.
That counts. Sean Green is in for Chris Johnson. Mike Munchak said Green brings that smash and dash mentality. The former Jet. He'll pick up 5 yards. And a first down to the 35. Good block by Colin Mooney, who was activated off the practice squad yesterday in his first official year with the Titans. He played a couple of games last year. Out of West Point, 3-year commitment to the U.S. Army, was part of the practice squad, was in the field artillery branch of the U.S. Army. 2008 set a school record with 1,339 rushing yards for the cadets. It's Green slashing for 5 yards. And this is a new dynamic for Tennessee.
Now this is what they had in mind. I mean, Green rushed for 1,063 yards last week. He gets right in behind Chance Warmack and David Stewart, who's playing with a sore calf today. Good job as well by Rob Turner. They just string out that defensive line and allow Green to cut back and pick up a substantial gain on first down.
He had 2 1,000-yard rushing seasons as a member of the Jets, known as a quote-unquote downhill runner. Green the cut, and they'll stick with Green. Up the middle for 3, Sean Green signed a 3-year, $10 million deal, hit by Larry Foote, the linebacker for Pittsburgh.
You know where the term downhill runner originated?
Where's that?
At Syracuse. Because the old field, Archibald Field, actually had a 2% grade. So when you were running in one direction of the field, you were literally running downhill.
That's a Cliff Clavin-like note. That's incredible. There's no notes in front of you. That's just out of thin air you're pulling that. Sean Green just limped off the field. 3rd and 2. Jackie Battle is in. Battle, the former Kansas City Chief and San Diego Charger. It is very close. Lawrence Timmons with the stop. They're going to place the football just short of the line to gain.
Well, Battle's a big back at 6'2", 240. And like his name, that's the type of effort you're going to get, but he is short.
Now what do? It's 4th down.
I think the way you're running this ball and with the backs you have in the game, no question. I mean, remember Mike Munchak, the former All-Pro, Hall of Fame offensive lineman, he's going to go for it on 4th and short.
On 4th down. Battle in the backfield. Battle, 2nd effort, 3rd effort. He's got it. He was pushed.
Chance Warmack pushed him. Great job by Warmack because Battle, I don't think he was going to make it even with that 2nd effort. He gets hit in the backfield. Polamalu jumps inside the tight end Craig Stevens. Foote gets a hand on him, but watch Warmack, number 70. He takes his man all the way to Battle, and Battle picks up the first down. Heads up play by the Rook.
So, new set of downs for Tennessee. 3:40 to go in this first half. Johnson is back in there. And they just sealed off that area. No gain on the play. Steve McClendon was not going to let Johnson get the step. Coming in 2 weeks to CBS, Tony Collette and Dylan McDermott star in the 15-episode thriller Hostages. It premieres Monday, September 23rd, only CBS.
They have taken the air out of the football, although on 2nd and long now, maybe Locker will throw it.
Johnson stays in there, perpendicular to Locker working out of the gun. All 7 plays on the drive have been running plays until this. Delaney Walker working the sideline, loses his helmet. Ryan Clark out along the perimeter with the stick. 8-yard pickup for Walker.
You know, if this ball wasn't thrown as high as it was, Walker would have got a couple more yards. With his speed and versatility, lining up as a wide receiver that time, he's going to be a big weapon for Locker and this offense.
Delaney Walker, we talked to him, he said, look, my role here is just so much bigger than it was in San Francisco. I want to be the bell cow. 3rd and 2. Kenny Britt in motion. Johnson stays on his feet and then thrown backwards by Foot. Forward progress will give him enough for the first down.
Yeah, I like the way they're alternating Sean Green and Chris Johnson now. Johnson's great on draw plays such as that. He knew exactly what he needed to get that first down.
And we hit the 2-minute warning with Pittsburgh leading Tennessee. 2-0, the Titans are threatening. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report, JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher, all the latest NFL scores and highlights, plus a special preview of the U.S. Open Women's Final, Azarenka Williams. It's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. 2 minutes to play in this first half. Pittsburgh with a 2-0 lead on Tennessee. Hand off to Chris Johnson. Johnson's got some room. The cut by Johnson. And he spilled out across the 10-yard line. A 6-yard pickup. Clark and Allen combined to bring him down.
And Delaney Walker comes in motion, sets as a halfback, and leads Johnson around the corner. Watch number 82 here. He'll get out in front, but he can't quite make the block here, or Chris Johnson is going to score.
11th play of the drive. Tennessee looking to take the lead. 2nd and 4. Locker on a give. Johnson up the middle, stays on his feet. And he's got a first down inside the 5. Another good block by Warmack, the rookie out of Alabama.
Now let's check him out. As Johnson picks up the first down, no hesitation at all for Johnson. Watch number 70, 323 pounds, moving down the field. Actually getting a brush block on Foot and then getting on the safety Clark.
1st and goal for Tennessee. Jackie Battle in the game for the Titans. Give it to Battle. Steamrolling for the touchdown. Titans go in front. Jackie Battle. First points of the season for Tennessee.
And they did it the hard way. On the ground on this drive. 12-play drive, 11 runs. And a real exclamation point at the end of that run by Jackie Battle.
This is a good mix of running backs that Tennessee now has with Chris Johnson. Sean Green brings a little something different, and then Jackie Battle's a hybrid. He was Kansas City's leading rusher in 2011 when Charles went down with the injury. 12 plays, 49 yards off the interception. Rob Baronis, the extra point, and a 7-2 lead for Tennessee with 44 seconds to go in this first half. Tennessee sticking to the game plan and working it on the ground to take the lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bose, the official home audio sponsor of the NFL. And by the U.S. Postal Service. Schedule your free package pickup today.
Back here in Pittsburgh, where Tennessee goes out in front, 7-2 on the Steelers. Pittsburgh has been limited to 8 rushing yards in this first half. They lost their all-pro center, Marquise Pouncey, in the first quarter to a right knee injury. Rob Baronis kicking it off. Stevens howling, dangerous return man, and he is going to take a knee. Pittsburgh will have it at the 20-yard line. Another reminder, Verizon Halftime Report is coming up. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher, scores, highlights, and a preview of the U.S. Open Women's Final. Victoria Azarenka, Serena Williams. It's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report.
That's a time-consuming drive. After the interception gave the Titans great field position, and boy, 12 plays, 11 runs, and the one pass play, the quick screen out to Delaney Walker. just like a long handoff. So very conservative, but very effective play calling by Dow Loggins.
First full year as the offensive coordinator for the Titans after replacing Chris Palmer last year. Steelers have all 3 timeouts to work with. They trail now 7-2. Roethlisberger steps. Roethlisberger tries the shovel and connects. Stevens Howling gets knocked around like a pinball. It's a 5-yard pickup as Derek Morgan was chomping at the bit to get to Big Ben.
Now he's been under pressure the entire first half. His first receiver is covered. He might have been down there. This might be worth a challenge by Munchak and the Titans. Watch his knees before he gets the ball out of his hand. And there comes the red flag challenge.
Well, fans were reacting because Pittsburgh was not stopping the clock. They were going complete conservative mode, not using the timeout, and maybe just accepting the fact that it's a 7-2 game.
That's what they're discussing here now.
All right, 2 issues here. One, Roethlisberger, was the knee down, and also how much time should be on the clock. Here's Boger to sort things out. It looked like Big Ben was down before he got rid of it.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback's knee was down prior to the pass at the 15-yard line. So it'll be Pittsburgh's ball, 2nd down at the 15-yard line.
But what about the clock issue?
Yeah, the clock showed 40 seconds when Roethlisberger's knee hit the ground. And the other thing is that the clock should wind now, and will Tennessee use a timeout? They've got 3 timeouts, and if they have 40 seconds, that's an eternity.
Right there. So you're talking about a 26-second differential right now with what's on the clock and what would have been on the clock if the play was whistled dead.
Now they got to go back and give him 26 seconds. Now the clock winds. This is an error by our officials, not knowing that Roethlisberger, once he's sacked, clock does not stop.
It would have changed the situation entirely. If the sack is called, Tennessee would have called the timeout immediately.
So the first half ends as bizarre as the first half started.
Mike Munchak wants an explanation, and the Tennessee coaching staff. Very odd. 7-2, Tennessee in front. The NFL on 6. Halftime here in Pittsburgh, where the Titans lead the Steelers 7-2 as we get ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. Welcome back, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. That was strange, very strange first half. Pittsburgh concerns right now. Marquise Pouncey is out with that right knee injury. Did not establish the running game. Tennessee on the flip side did get the running game going. Some signs of life now for the Titans also on the defensive end.
Well, it's going to be a defensive battle in the second half, but I like the way the Titans answered the Steelers. Devastating start, lose 2 points in 3 seconds, but they came back. They did get the ball to all 3 of their running backs, and that was really key for them in that first half.
All right, right now let's take a look at the DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. This is the opening kick. Sean Sweezum to Darius Raynaud of Tennessee. Mistake.
Well, he stepped out of the end zone and then brought the ball back into the end zone. Obviously a 2-pointer. But the bigger concern, as you talked about, Pouncey being out, that offensive line in big trouble, and what a bizarre end to that first half with the officials saying that the sack, they were wrong on the call initially, went under the hood, saw that it was a sack, but clock ran out.
First half numbers, just 94 total yards for Tennessee, yet they lead on the scoreboard. They did get some form of a running game going on that touchdown drive. Pittsburgh has not. 0.8 yards per rush. They've turned it over twice. Tennessee has sacked Ben Roethlisberger 3 times. Barones is going to kick it off to Pittsburgh.
And one of those turnovers was when it looked like the Steelers were going in for a touchdown to increase their lead to 9-0. But Redmond and Roethlisberger couldn't connect on the exchange, fumble in the end zone. So that's really a huge turnover for the Steelers.
So here's Barones on the approach. Larod Stevens Howling is deep. And he's going to take a knee. Steelers will have it at the 20-yard line. So again, right at the end of that first half, initially was ruled a completion. Roethlisberger, the forward pass. When they looked at it after the challenge by Tennessee, it was ruled a sack. But 26 seconds had gone by in the interim. And the question, everybody understands, the clock continues to roll on a sack. The issue, at least from our vantage point, was if it was ruled correctly on the field, a sack like it was, then Munchak would have used a timeout immediately. He had 3 to work with. And there would have been 40 seconds left, a chance to get the football back. Instead, they allowed the 26 seconds to elapse, and Munchak never got a chance to get his field goal unit potentially on the field for an attempt.
And when you talk field goal unit, you've got a strong leg in Rob Baronis, who has a 60-yarder to his career, so the field position might not have been good, but you don't need all that much for Baronis to convert.
Stevens Howling with the catch. Steelers are working quickly here to start this third quarter. They're looking for some kind of rhythm on offense. Stevens Howling again. On the carry. Larod Stevens Howling, Johnstown, Pennsylvania native. Grew up 70 miles from Pittsburgh. 3.5-yard gain for him. Cameron Wimbley with the hit, along with Mike Martin for Tennessee.
We've yet to see Felix Jones carry the ball for Pittsburgh. He was very impressive coming over from the Eagles in his first action in preseason.
Jones was in there for one play and whiffed on a block against Jarrell Casey that led to a sack and pressure on Roethlisberger. Incomplete, trying to hit Stevens Howling in stride. And Roethlisberger and the Steelers go 3 and out to open this second half.
What a great effort by Moises Foku. Number 53 just flying out of his middle linebacker spot. That ball's a flat drop by Stevens Howling, but the effort by the middle linebacker to get out there, that will frustrate any quarterback. That could have been a big gainer, Ryan.
Zoltan Mesko on for the punt. Darius Raynaud standing at his own 24-yard line. Mesko, a 5th-round pick out of Michigan back in 2010. Raynaud moves forward and brings it in at the 30-yard line. 41-yard punt. Tennessee with the lead and the football when we come back. Back here at Heinz Field, a 7-2 lead for Tennessee. Not a lot to cheer about for the Steelers fans in the NFL season opener here in Pittsburgh. Hand off to Johnson. Chris Johnson gets out across the 35-yard line, picks up 4 in the process. Lawrence Timmons with the stop. It's not too late to sign up and play NFL.com Fantasy Football. Get free mobile apps and exclusive instant highlights. Sign in and play for free at NFL.com/fantasy. Chris Johnson, 11 carries, 36 yards, a long of 7. Once again, that diamond formation for Tennessee with 3 in the backfield. Johnson trying to sidestep some tacklers and leans forward for no gain on the play. William Gay in on the hit. First half possessions for Tennessee.
Well, they were throwing the ball a lot more early in the game. They got away from it totally, and it paid off. Of course, this is the key here, is getting field position after the Werner interception. A short field to work with, and they worked it on the ground.
26 in the NFL in total offense last year. 23rd in scoring, just under 21 points per game. Tennessee facing a 3rd and 6. 4-receiver set. Locker knocked upstairs. Incomplete. Intended receiver Nate Washington. William Gay in the coverage. Flag is thrown back at the 26-yard line.
Chop block. Offense number 28. That penalty is declined. The result of the play, 4th down.
That's 2 pass plays that William Gay's been involved with the ball being deflected high into the air, and neither Polamalu can get in there to get the interception. Here's the chop block right here. It's a real good call as Chance Warmack was working on the defensive lineman, and Chris Johnson cannot go low like that.
So Brett Kern is back out there. Antonio Brown at the 20-yard line. Steelers looking for something just to get this team galvanized. They got 2 points 3 seconds in on a miscue by Raynaud on the opening kickoff, a safety, and that's it. Kern trying to angle it towards the sideline. Brown, fair catch. And he's got it at the 16-yard line. That's a 49-yard punt. 12:24 to go. We're in the third. Penalty marker was thrown on the far side late. And here's Jerome Boger.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 29. Half the distance from the end of the kick. Pittsburgh keeps the ball. First down.
And that's Shamarko Thomas, the rookie out of Syracuse, called on the penalty.
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun.
I think that he's the best player in the league.
Well, I wouldn't say well.
You got to come in, LT.
The troubles continue for Lawrence Taylor.
The crime is not being knocked down. The crime is not getting up again.
The Life and Times, the story of Lawrence Taylor, premieres Friday, September 20th on Showtime at 8 p.m. An amazing documentary on the trials and tribulations of one of the most feared and gifted players in the history of the NFL. You had your own experience with LT, Dan.
Well, you definitely knew he was on the field, identified him every time he broke the huddle, and hoped he didn't break you.
You almost broke your shoulder.
Darn close. Great player.
On first down, Stevens Howling is now getting the majority of the carries, a 3-yard pickup for the former Arizona Cardinal. The possessions today for Pittsburgh. The results have not been good.
Yeah, the fumble happened inside the 5-yard line. Ball went into the end zone, recovered by Tennessee, but that is as bad as you could possibly have for your opening half of a new season.
Todd Haley now in his second year as the offensive coordinator for the Steelers, former head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of stories regarding Haley and the bumpy road with Ben Roethlisberger. Things seem to have smoothed over, although this has not been a good start for the offense. Stevens Howling. Somebody lost their helmet in the fray. Bernard Pollard in the middle of that group.
But how quickly things can change with an injury. And that's exactly the case for the Steelers offense and their offensive line, losing Marquise Pouncey with 11 minutes to go in the first quarter of today's game to a knee injury. That's why they're not having any success on the ground, although Haley's sticking with it on this possession.
Pouncey did go to the hospital, an MRI being performed. It was the right knee of Pouncey after DeCastro rolled up on top of him. Stevens Howling still in there on a 3rd and 3 now. Roethlisberger from the gun. Pocket collapsing. Roethlisberger slammed down Zach Brown in there along with Mike Martin.
Now, Zach Brown overpowers Stevens Howling. Here's Stevens Howling, and watch Zach Brown come on the blitz, and it's no contest. He steps up nice, but takes a poor angle, just gets overpowered. Fourth sack of the game against Roethlisberger.
And now Zoltan Mesko is punting out of his own end zone. High punt, sailing. Raynaud's got it at the 45. Makes his move upfield. And takes it to the Pittsburgh 45 for a 10-yard return, a 47-yard punt. Robert Golden makes the play on special teams. Tennessee in front, 7-2. 7-2 lead for the Tennessee Titans, 10:21 to go here in the third quarter in Pittsburgh. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew. Average drive start for Tennessee has been their own 38-yard line. They take over right now at the 45 of Pittsburgh. Locker a deep drop. Locker, touch pass up the field. Incomplete. Delaney Walker in a matchup with Ryan Clark. Cortez Allen, a left ankle injury, so William Gay is in for Allen at the other corner alongside Ike Taylor.
And Gay has done a good job the last couple of plays, but this is a hope and a prayer by Jake Locker trying to get his tight end Delaney Walker. Walker only goes about 6 feet tall, so you would think as a tight end he might have the advantage in height, but Ike Taylor right there with him. Ryan Clark coming over.
2nd and 10, Jake Locker, 4 of 10, just 43 yards through the air for Tennessee. Ground game, Johnson cutting it to the outside. Johnson with a flag down.
Well, they kind of call it blocking the back on Kenny Britt. My goodness.
8-yard gain will be nullified.
Offense number 18. 10-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
And some words exchanged between Britt and Ike Taylor.
You could take your choice on this call. There's the hold, and there's the block in the back. Negated a fine move by Chris Johnson, bouncing to the outside. Johnson's still one of those players you kind of hold your breath when he has the ball in his hands.
.10:08 to go now in this third quarter.
Britt yet to catch a pass for Tennessee.
Does have the one catch, 15 yards. It was early.
Long time ago.
Only 4 receptions overall for the Titans, 2 of them to Walker. Shamarko Thomas in as a 5th defensive back. Johnson up the middle. And he is bottled up at midfield after the 4-yard pickup. Brett Kiesel in on that stop. And Dan, I don't know if you knew this. Yesterday was World Beard Day. Around the world, we salute the beards. And I was hanging with you and Brett Kiesel. And I got to tell you, I had beard envy between the two of you guys.
Well, I felt inadequate, I guess is the best word.
Well, you're the beard and he's the beard 2.0. Or 5.0.
He's awesome. He shaved 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Last time he shaved.
And he will not shave again for another 5 months. 3rd and 15. Locker. It's caught by Walker and then lost it at the end. Scramble for it. Walker's got it back. Delaney Walker doing extra work on the catch, fumble, and recovery. It goes down as a 25-yard play.
Gets behind the linebacker there. Timmons hit by Polamalu, forces the ball out, but here's the effort.
And Tennessee rushing to the line. They don't want to take any chances. Oh, Polamalu again jumping the gun.
And this, he went right to the head of Jake Locker, too.
So a scramble situation there.
No penalty on Polamalu.
No. So I jumped the gun on the call. Polamalu timed it perfectly.
You talk about having a quarterback snap count down pat. If I'm Locker, I may change it up just a touch, maybe go on a hard count a little bit. But, you know, they were in that hurry-up mode before the Steelers could challenge anything on that completion, fumble, and recovery by Walker.
Tennessee now a 2nd and 13. Hand it off. Johnson, nothing there. Tried to cut it to the outside. No gain on the play. Ryan Clark helping in run support for Pittsburgh.
And I think this offensive line does a better job when their running backs are running between the tackles, whether it's Chris Johnson or Sean Green. So far today, the quickness of the Steelers on all the wide plays that the Titans are trying to run has been more effective. But the size of this offensive line now, I think they're better just powering right at the Steelers instead of trying to go wide.
Sean Green has a right knee injury. His return is questionable for Tennessee. 3rd and long. Green was effective in bursts in that first half. Locker sets. He throws on an out route, and it's hauled in. Nate Washington gives Tennessee a first down. They're in the red zone.
Best throw of the day by Jake Locker, and this is where it really helps to have a strong arm. Working on the outside against Ike Taylor. Ball perfectly thrown before Taylor can get his left hand in to block it.
Now 6 of 12, 82 yards. Washington with his first catch of the day. First down for Tennessee. Johnson and Mooney in the backfield. And Taylor Thompson will sit there as well for the diamond formation. Johnson looking for an opening, and he is upended. Jason Worlds in there. Forward progress will give him a gain of about 1.
Worlds in there quickly. Also Ryan Clark from his safety spot got up there quicker. That kept, looks like that Clark is injured too, trying to get out.
Now Ryan Clark is walking off. Robert Golden is going to check in for him.
looking for the cutback, as they always have to when they face a guy like Chris Johnson. But you can see Johnson lowered his helmet and hit Clark on the shoulder. Now that's legal by Johnson, to lower your helmet if you're running between the tackles on a potential tackler. If he had gotten beyond the line of scrimmage, that's a potential penalty on Chris Johnson.
They're working on the left arm of Ryan Clark. This is a 2nd and 9 now for Tennessee. Locker on again. Johnson tried the stutter step. Steelers were ready for it. He goes down after a gain of 1, loses his helmet. Ziggy Hood makes the stop for Pittsburgh.
This is what we're talking about. This is a new rule in the NFL about targeting. But because he's running between the tackles, this is legal. If he were out on the perimeter or down the field and took a shot at a defender with his helmet down, leading with the crown of the helmet, it would have been a penalty. Good non-call by the officials.
3rd and 8 now for Tennessee. 10th play of the drive for the Titans. Looking to add to their lead. Locker from the gun. Locker throws underneath, right with the catch, but short of a first down. Shamarko Thomas with a tackle. They pick up 4 yards, and now the field goal unit will come on with Rob Baronis.
That type of play drives me nuts. I mean, you throw a 5-yard pass when you need, more than that to get in the end zone. Give it a shot to a receiver in the end zone. Throw it high so that if it's not complete, it sails out of the end zone, not intercepted. But that's just a give-up throw, give-up completion thrown by Locker there to right.
Rob Baronis, 36 consecutive field goals from 40 yards away or less. This is a 26-yard attempt for Baronis. Kern holds it, and Baronis knocks it through. He spent training camp with Pittsburgh in 2004, didn't make the team, eventually settled with Tennessee, and he's carved out a nice career with the Titans.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. And by Pizza Hut. Make it great.
Back here in Pittsburgh, Heinz Field opened up back in 2001. First event held here. Dan, I believe you were in attendance for NSYNC.
Yeah, I went berserk that night.
Oh, you did go berserk, didn't you?
Seems to be the catchword today.
Yeah, really kind of started last night into today. Rob Baronis will kick it off. LaRod Stevens-Howling and Felix Jones are deep. Stevens-Howling is going to take it out 2 yards deep in the end zone. Running along that sideline and just does not have room to work with. He comes up short of the 25. Patrick Bailey, the former Steeler, on the hit. Not everybody can be a quarterback, so get inside the minds of those who can. Join Phil Simms, Rich Gannon, Steve Berline, Adam Shine. NFL Monday QB returns at a special time tomorrow, 5 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Ben Roethlisberger, he has been under heavy pressure throughout the day. No touchdowns. He's thrown a pick. 4 sacks for the Tennessee defense. And it's been LaRod Stevens-Howling who's been in there most of this second half. Last 4 drive, Pittsburgh has gained 2 total yards. They trail 10-2. Dump off. Stevens-Howling takes it to the 30 for 7 yards. Zach Brown, the speedy linebacker out of North Carolina, makes the play.
And Howling gets up limping. Isaac Redmond, who started the game, had a horrible first half. And now trying to go up-tempo.
Oh, and Stevens-Howling can't even get off the field on his own. Felix Jones, the former Cowboy, was coming in to replace him. And Stevens-Howling collapsed. They're checking on the Johnstown, Pennsylvania native. Taking a look at the right knee of LaRod Stevens-Howling. Felix Jones is now in. Jones acquired in a deal 3 weeks ago for linebacker Adrian Robinson from Philadelphia. Jones was the number 22 pick back in 2008 out of Arkansas by the Dallas Cowboys. 2nd and 3. Roethlisberger throws. Out route. Sanders incomplete.
Now, he
Never
had
controlled it.
Yeah, no, you got to control it all the way through, landing on the ground, and the ball will come out. Werner on the coverage may have gotten a hand in there. And the crowd sees the replay, but that's a correct call. Must maintain possession.
Crowd reacting to what they just showed on the big screen. This is now 3rd and 3 for Pittsburgh. Low snap. Back up center is in. Roethlisberger throws. Timing is off. Kochery in the area. Pittsburgh will punt once again. And the fans reacting here on NFL kickoff weekend.
Again, it goes back to Marquise Pouncey being injured and Kelvin Beachum doing his best job as a backup center, but that's twice now we've had poor snaps, one high, that one low, and what it does to a quarterback is it takes his focus off the defense. He's concentrating on catching the ball, and the timing, as you said, Ian, was thrown off because of the bad snap.
Zoltan Mesko will punt it. Darius Raynaud standing at the 20. He'll move forward. It's going to bounce, though, at the 34 and roll out of bounds along the far sideline. Time for an NFL Today update as we head back to New York. JB and
EJ Manuel shaking off any rookie jitters. Yeah, there's a new man in Buffalo. His name's EJ Manuel. Here you go, his second touchdown of the day. This time to Stevie Johnson, 18 yards. Bills up 21-17 over the Pats as they get started here in the second half.
Patriots have won 9 straight on opening day. Let's see what happens. Ian and Dan.
All right, guys, thanks very much. A curiosity on opening weekend. You just don't quite know where teams are going to fit in. The mystery behind rookies like E.J. Manuel. Handoff to Jackie Battle. We mentioned Sean Green is nursing a right knee injury, so Battle is getting some chances. William Gay with a hit. Stevens Howling remains on the training table. Gay is in for Pittsburgh because of an injury to Cortez Allen, a left ankle. We come up on the 3-minute mark of this third quarter. 76th all-time meeting between these two teams. They used to be in the same division until realignment in 2002. Pittsburgh leads the series with a mark of 44-31. Steelers have lost their last 2 season openers. Both of those were on the road. They had won 8 in a row before that. They've won 10 straight home openers. Play fake. Locker steps up. Locker out of trouble. He's going to run. And the slide by Locker, not taking any chances as McClendon forced him out of the pocket. It's a 4.5-yard gain.
And it appeared that Locker may have had more running room than he realized. But again, as you said, Ian, he wants to be smart, avoid the hit. Just try to move the chains, try to make too big of a play out of this. But getting away there from McClendon, he just used pure strength to pull away from the one-arm tackle.
So it sets up 3rd and 5 now. Locker with 7 yards gained on the ground. 4 receivers set. Battle in the backfield. Play clock is down to 2. Locker steps up. Locker throws on the move. And he makes the connection with Nate Washington. It's a first down for Tennessee, and it covers 9 yards through the air.
And that's part of the maturity of the young quarterback. Instead of taking off and trying to run for that first down as he might have done last year, he's going to keep his eyes down the field. And I love this throw because he's running to his left, squares his shoulder, and throws across the field. And having the receiver like Nate Washington, the veteran of 9 years, knowing he has to work his way back to the quarterback, really paid off.
Safety blitz was on. Locker able to avoid it and convert on 3rd down. Down to 1:10 to go in the 3rd. Jackie Battle the carry, and Battle able to emerge through that crowd with a 5-yard pickup.
And that's the difference between Battle and Chris Johnson. He's going to break through those tackles at the line of scrimmage. He weighs 240, which is about 40 pounds more than Chris Johnson. It may not look pretty, but it is 5 yards, and that's pretty for a running game.
Last year, Dan, Tennessee was dead last in the NFL in time of possession. They are leading that category here today against Pittsburgh. They've held the ball for 24 minutes. Battle again. Battle keeps the legs turning and dishing out some punishment. It's a first down for Tennessee And Battle creating some opportunities for himself. He took a hit from Jason Worlds, but he kept on going. And Worlds was the one that took the brunt of it.
Yeah, he drilled Worlds, dropped his left shoulder. And again, 6'2", 240. And living up to his name.
And that's going to do it for this third quarter. We head to the fourth. The Tennessee Titans in front 10-2. We'll come back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Steelers fans waving the terrible towels. Pittsburgh looking for something to get them going here. 10-2 Tennessee as we start this fourth quarter. Take the handoff. Locker on the move. Locker too high. Kenny Britt was in the area. Nate Washington as well. McClendon and Ziggy Hood forced Locker out of the pocket.
It was clear the Steelers were expecting something coming out of the start of the fourth quarter. A play action and maximum protection, a two-man route for the Titans, and Locker couldn't find either of them getting open, although they were both in the same area.
2nd and 10 now for Tennessee. Little bit of movement.
False start. Offense, number 22. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So Jackie Battle called on the penalty. Back it up for Tennessee. Total yards 172 for the Titans, 104 for Pittsburgh. They've basically evened it out for Tennessee. 85 on the ground, 87 through the air. We get word for Pittsburgh offensively that Stevens Howling is out with that right knee injury. 2nd and 15 now. Locker. Incomplete. It was offline. Craig Stevens, the intended receiver for the Titans.
Yeah, a little antsy in the pocket that time. He had good protection, but started to feel a phantom rusher there, escaped the pocket and threw erratically to his tight end, Craig Stevens. Stevens, it appeared, had got a step on the linebacker there. But Locker not hanging in the pocket long enough.
We asked Mike Munchak, what's the difference? Last year's team to this year's team. He said the team got bigger, faster on offense. Up front, he believes they're much improved. The wide receivers have a great feel for what they're doing. They've got a lead here, but it's a tenuous one. 8-point differential. Locker throwing. Cannot make the connection to Williams. He had him open along the perimeter.
Yeah, it was a deep out route, just enough yardage for the first down if the connection could have been made. William Gay backing up. Williams with a good sharp route. He kind of loses his footing there as he locates the ball and can't bring it in. A little bit out of sync here in the passing game here in the second half for the Titans.
Tennessee will punt it with Brett Kern, his 5th punt of the afternoon. Antonio Brown, a Pro Bowl return man in 2011. And this one will not be returned as Brown calls for the fair catch at the 16-yard line. 10-2, Tennessee maintains the lead. These numbers have been rough for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 19 rushing yards, 1.5 average per carry, only 85 yards through the air, 4 sacks allowed as well, and just 7 first downs with 2 turnovers. Pittsburgh takes over. 1st and 10 of the 16-yard line, just underway here in the fourth quarter.
7 first downs were all in the first half. They had no first downs in the third quarter.
Isaac Redman is back in with the injury to Stevens Howling. Redman gets an opportunity. Right up the gut. Redman picks up 7 yards on first down. Well, they drafted Le'Veon Bell in the 2nd round out of Michigan State. He had 1,740 yards and 12 touchdowns as a junior. North-south running style. They really believed he would fit their system, but not available because of that foot injury. Redmond stays in there. Felix Jones is an option as well, but he is new to this team. Roethlisberger on time to Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders, a first down, 20 yards on the catch and run for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh going no huddle here.
Steelers first down.
Roethlisberger now with 125 yards throwing. First down of the second half for the Steelers. Titans crowd the line. They handle the rush. Roethlisberger up in the air. Diving attempt by Cotchery. He can't bring it in. Cody Sensabaugh in coverage for Tennessee.
Cotchery had 2 catches in the first half. This is the first pass thrown his way in the second half. Nice effort there, but Sensabaugh with just enough contact there to disrupt the concentration. Ball thrown maybe 4 inches too far.
We asked Ben Roethlisberger, how do you prepare for this game with the Greg Williams influence? He said, we watched the game from last year, we watched the Titans preseason, and we watched the Pittsburgh-New Orleans game from 2 years ago when Greg Williams was running the Saints defense. 2nd and 10. Redmond kept the legs churning. Moses Foku, the first man there, 5-yard gain as Redmond was able to pick up some extra yards.
Now Redmond's fighting for a position now. After his first half, you might think he might never play again, but with the injuries now, they're really having to count on him. Stephen Howling's out for the rest of the game.
It's a big 3rd and 5 now for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger making sure everybody's on the same page here. From the gun, Roethlisberger on a rope. Incomplete, broken up by McCourty. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver for the Steelers.
This is an all-pro play by Jason McCourty, anticipating the back shoulder throw. Watch as he sees the receiver, Brown, look back for the ball. He gets his right hand in there. Perfect timing.
And that was right in front of Todd Haley, who gave the official a piece of his mind.
For the Titans.
A lot of frustration on that sideline for good reason.
Mesko the punt. Raynaud. No fair catch. A little bit of a risky play, but turns it into a 3-yard gain after the 43-yard punt. Robert Golden making the play downfield on special teams.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. FedEx. FedEx does more than shipping. FedEx, solutions that matter. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
Look at Point Park Fountain on what has turned into a nice enough day here in Pittsburgh. Hasn't been nice for the Steeler fans, though. They've been limited to just 2 points. Tennessee has got an 8-point lead, and they hand the ball off to Chris Johnson. Loss of 1 on the play as McClendon and Foote combined to bring him down. With all eyes on Syria, Charlie Rose sits down with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad for an exclusive interview tomorrow morning only on CBS This Morning.
This is a huge defensive possession, if you will, for the Steelers. The defense may have to score points in this game for Pittsburgh.
2nd and 11. Locker with Johnson right next to him. Locker fires. Complete to Washington. Nate Washington tried to curl it upfield for the extra yardage. They needed 11. They picked up 10 as William Gay makes the tackle.
Great effort, though, by Washington after the catch. He knows he's not close to the first down. He gets enough out there, but the elbow goes down before he can reach across the line to gain.
Former teammates, Washington and Gay. William Gay, his second stint with the Pittsburgh Steelers, left with Arizona as a free agent. And he has stepped in for the injured Cortez Allen for the Steelers. And they're going to measure this one. From here, it looks clearly short.
But they're bringing the chains from the near side of the field across the field. And that's not going to help the Titans any. Still short.
By the length of a football. So 3rd and less than a yard now for Mike Munchak and the Tennessee Titans.
But you know, the Titans called for that measurement, and by doing so, they kind of took the crowd out of it.
A little bit.
The crowd was getting a little bit jacked up there on this 3rd down and short coming up, and now they're going to have to regroup if you think about what help they can give to this defense.
Mike Munchak talked about the Oilers-Steelers rivalry, which was such a big one during his playing days. So many memorable moments, and it was always big for him because he grew up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. A lot of Steeler fans in that area. But he actually grew up as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Munchak, now in his 32nd year with the organization as a player from 82 to 93, an assistant coach from 94 to 2010, took over for Jeff Fisher as the head man. Needed less than a yard. They get more than that with Jackie Battle.
What a great job Battle's done filling in for Sean Green. Green went out with a knee injury earlier, but Battle has been really the most productive of the Titan ball carriers in the second half.
Undrafted free agent out of Houston in 2007, hooked on with Kansas City, made his way to San Diego, and very well could play a big part in this three-headed running attack this season for Tennessee. 10.5 to go now in the 4th quarter. 10-2 lead for the Titans. Johnson back in there. Locker from the gun. Locker throws a looping pass to Nate Washington.
Boy, Locker really got drilled as he let that ball go. Still feeling it a little bit. Nate Washington a little slow to get up as well.
Washington tried to make his way onto his feet and now back down on his knees. The hit from Lawrence Timmons on Locker. Wow.
And that is right in the breadbasket. Good legal hit by Timmons. Locker with one of his better throws, a touch pass over the defender to drop the ball into Washington. Now, what happened to Washington? Here comes Ryan Clark with the hit. He's got his legs twisted just a little bit.
Yep. And Washington able to jog off on his own. 4 receptions, 46 yards for the 9-year veteran. One of the leaders on this Tennessee squad. So, new set of downs for Tennessee to work with. They'll start the clock. We'll hit the 10-minute mark of this 4th quarter. Chris Johnson has been held to 42 yards on the ground. His longest run, 7 yards. Here's Johnson. Able to get to the second level this time, and Johnson's got his longest run of the day. David Stewart and Craig Stevens with key blocks on the outside. 11-yard gain as we head to New York. NFL Today update, JB and Boomer.
Russell Wilson getting it done.
You know, Percy Harvin got hurt, so this is when you got to make a change and you got to try to find your place on the team, and that's exactly what Jermaine Kearse does right here. 43 yards, great catch. They attempted a 2-point conversion. It failed. 12-7 over Carolina. Seahawks lead.
Back to Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts.
Guys, Kearse had a big preseason for Seattle, so this doesn't come out of left field for the Seahawks. Johnson stacked up. Al Woods leading that charge. And another banged up Steeler.
Yeah, it's Ryan Clark.
Clark, who left earlier with was a left arm problem, and he rips his helmet off and now flat on his back. We'll step aside. 9:01 to play in the 4th. 8-point lead for Tennessee. Ryan Clark is on the Pittsburgh sideline, able to get up on his own. Robert Golden replaces him for this play. 2nd and 7 for Tennessee. Give to Johnson. Johnson breaks one tackle. Johnson stutter step.
Chris Johnson, the ball carrier.
8-yard gain, needed 7. He made Larry Foote miss. It's another first down for the Titans.
Well, we go back to the injury to Clark. Watch as he gets hit right in the back by his teammate Ike Taylor. It's twice today that a Steeler has accidentally run into a teammate and injured him. Of course, David DeCastro, the big hit on Marquise Pouncey in that first quarter. But good sign here. Clark is back.
21 yards on the ground on this drive for Chris Johnson. Now has 64 on the day. Fake the handoff, bootleg. Sets the feet against the grain. Incomplete. Flags down. Clark against Delanie Walker.
Boy, I give the Titans a lot of credit. Dow Loggins with the call, finding right away, going after the injured player.
Defense number 25. Spot the foul, automatic first down.
And I'm not sure that Delanie Walker had to stop for this ball, but by stopping, that forced Clark into contact, and that gets the call. Mike Tomlin saying the ball was uncatchable. But that's good for 23 free yards for the Titans.
So Tennessee now has it inside the 20-yard line after the fourth penalty against Pittsburgh. Eighth play of the drive. Johnson leveled. Polamalu pressing. It's a loss of 2 and flags fly. Under 8 minutes to play now.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 76, throwing the player to the ground, 15-yard penalty, the down counts, second down.
And that's the man known as Big Country, David Stewart, who was a question mark for this game with a calf injury.
And that penalty pushes the Titans back into real long field goal range. A field goal really ices this game. Because right now it's just a one-possession game. A touchdown and a two-pointer ties it. But that penalty could be really big because it was after the play, cost them a down as well.
Line of scrimmage is now the 35-yard line. Jackie Battle is back in there. He'll get the call. Battle up the middle. And he struggles to pick up the 3 yards that he got. Going down low. Jarvis Jones in on that stop for Pittsburgh. So the clock is moving. 7:20 and counting left in this fourth quarter. Tennessee with a 10-2 lead on Pittsburgh. Rob Baronis just getting himself mentally and physically ready for a field goal try. Third and long for Tennessee. Shotgun with a player behind him. Short hit. It's Wright just trying to get back some of that yardage to put Baronis in a better situation. That's a 7-yard gain on the quick hitter Locker to right. Keon Wilson makes the tackle for Pittsburgh, and here comes Rob Baronis trying to make this a 2-possession game.
Really a smart play selection by Dow Loggins and good execution by Locker and Wright. Conservative call, but you're not looking to get a first down here. You're looking to get a field goal. Baronis was good on 80% of his field goal tries last year.
He's been a clutch kicker throughout his Tennessee career and very consistent. Pro Bowl back in 2007. He's been one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history. We're going to call it a 44-yard attempt. Trying to build on this lead for Tennessee. Kern will hold it. Bo Brinkley is the snapper. From 44 yards away, Baronis. He nails it. Tennessee goes in front 13-2 with just over 6 minutes to play at Heinz Field. The Tennessee Titans. Big points on the board for Tennessee.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. And by Subway. Any regular footlong is a $5 footlong at Subway. Hurry in this September. Subway, eat fresh.
Here in Pittsburgh, where the Titans lead the Steelers 13-2, 6:01 to play in the fourth quarter. Give a lot of credit to Brett Kern for handling that Brinkley snap and adjusting to get it down for Baronis, who knocks through the 44-yard field goal. to extend the Tennessee lead, and now Barones kicks it off. Jones and Wheaton are deep. This will be Wheaton. Marcus Wheaton, the rookie out of Oregon State, track star in college. But George Wilson tracks him down.
He who hesitates gets tackled at about the 7-yard line. And that's what Wheaton did on this one.
That's the old saying, isn't it?
Well, it is today. Watch this great hold by Kern as he almost comes off the ground with both knees to make the catch and get it down. Barones looking real long at that one as it just squeezed in that upright.
And now the carousel of running backs has landed on Felix Jones for Pittsburgh. Jones in there with Roethlisberger. Ball is on the 7-yard line with the Steelers down 13-2. Roethlisberger to the outside. Emmanuel Sanders works his way out of bounds. 6.5 yards on the pass play. Tomorrow on Under the Dome. With only 2 episodes left, you don't want to miss a minute of the summer's #1 show. New episode tomorrow at 10, 9 Central, only CBS.
And no time to waste now for the Steelers.
They have 5:45 to work with, 3 timeouts, but they're down by 11. 4 receiver set. Roethlisberger. Try a shot down the field. Knocked away. McCourty against Sanders. And Roethlisberger took a shot from Jarrell Casey.
Watch the shot by Casey as he gets right up under the left arm of Roethlisberger. With him focused down the field here. Like a little push off there by Sanders is not called. Another fine coverage job by McCourty.
Jason McCourty really believes this defense is going to step forward after the struggles from a year ago. McCourty yet to be a part of a playoff game now in his 5th year. The sack by Casey. They can't handle Jarrell Casey. Roethlisberger goes down yet again. Number 5 for the Tennessee D.
Here he is right here at tackle, working against Ramon Foster. And just overpowers. Good leverage there by Casey. He's only 6'1", so he gets lower than the 6'6" Foster and finds his way to the quarterback.
Pittsburgh punting with Mesko. Reynaud will move forward. This was not a good punt from Mesko. Reynaud catches cleanly. He's inside the 30-yard line. Reynaud remains upright and dropped just short of the 15.
This is an embarrassing effort now we're seeing from the Steelers. Inability to protect their franchise quarterback, and now special teams giving up after the short punt by Mesko. A big return by Reynaud. Sloppy tackling.
This has turned into a nightmare for the Steelers. Injuries, poor execution, lack of offense, no running game.
And remember, they had a lead of 2-0 3 seconds into the game.
A gift. On the opening kickoff, a safety as Reynaud came just out of the end zone and back in. 3 tight ends in this formation. They give it to Chris Johnson. Tennessee trying to seal this game on the ground. 1-yard pickup, give him a gain of 2 with forward progress. Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers have been as good as anybody in home openers in recent years. 10 straight wins at home in their openers, not necessarily the season openers, the longest stretch in the NFL. Mike Tomlin has never lost a home opener as the head coach of the Steelers, 6-0.
Well, the Steelers have got some real big challenges ahead of them. Only one game is this, but boy, the problems with the offensive line, losing Pouncey and not having Le'Veon Bell as a running back. The struggles of Redmond today and the injury to Stevens Howling. It's tough.
Dan, this has been one of the most stable franchises in the league. You've got a legend in Dick LeBeau, the defensive coordinator, standing next to Mike Tomlin, who was the youngest head coach to win a Super Bowl. At at the age of 36. Chris Johnson tried to zigzag. Dick LeBeau will turn 76 tomorrow. And we talked to members of the defense for Pittsburgh, and they tell you that he still brings the same enthusiasm, the same passion every single day. The younger guys are just blown away by how enthusiastic he is about the job.
Well, and you got to think that giving up 13 points is a job well done. But the Steeler offense is in disarray, to say the least. You got to give credit today also to that offensive line of the Tennessee Titans and their ability to pound it out against the Steeler defense. Jackie Battle having a big second half. Chris Johnson been very consistent.
3rd and 7 now. 4:41 to go. Pittsburgh has 1 timeout remaining. Here's Johnson. And he's taken down just inside the 10 by Kiesel. 5-yard pickup. Clock is rolling. The key injuries today. Cortez Allen going down with a left ankle. Pouncey, the right knee. Stevens Howling, the right knee. Pittsburgh Steelers have had 9 consecutive non-losing seasons. That's the second longest streak in the league behind New England. Patriots have gone 12 straight. 27-yard field goal now for Rob Baronis. And he knocks it through to give Tennessee a 16-2 advantage. Just under 4 minutes remaining here in the 4th. Well, Dan, Saturday, the Home Depot SEC on CBS hits the field running. Nick Saban's top-ranked 2-time defending champion Crimson Tide roll against Heisman winner Johnny Manziel and the Aggies of Texas A&M. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson will have it for you. It all starts with college football today, anchored by Tim Brando, 3 Eastern on CBS. And we've got a connection here with Bruce Matthews, the Hall of Famer, and they continue to produce. It's like a factory, the Matthews family, and the connection to Texas A&M on the offensive line.
Would that be a gaggle of Aggies?
Yeah, that would be a gaggle. And there is Bruce Matthews, offensive line coach, Pro Football Hall of Famer, like my partner here, Dan Fouts.
You know, it was great at the Hall of Fame this year. Both Bruce and head coach Mike Munchak came to the induction ceremony. During the middle of practice sessions, they took the time out. It meant that much to them. And it means so much to all of us who are in the Hall. This is the 50th anniversary of the Hall of Fame. Just a tremendous weekend in Canton, Ohio. Largest group of Hall of Famers for one sport ever.
You said it was fantastic.
It's humbling, and you know, the word awesome is overused. It's a perfect word.
Baronis kicks it off. Felix Jones, Marcus Wheaton are deep for Pittsburgh. Steelers will be at Cincinnati next Monday night. Here's Wheaton weaving his way through traffic and chopped down at the 25-yard line. Well, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, a lot of lowlights in the season opener. The fumble by Redmond. Roethlisberger intercepted by Werner. Roethlisberger sack. That time he was just trying to make a play. It was ruled a sack after review.
Now, he's had very little time to throw because there's just no running game to occupy the minds of the linebackers, and a lot of pressure all day long on Big Ben.
I asked Ben Roethlisberger, does it feel like 10 years? It's his 10th year. He says, no, my body doesn't feel like it's been 10 years. Roethlisberger to Antonio Brown down the field.
His body may feel like it's 10 years after today. It may feel like 15 years.
He's got knocked around today. 22-yard pass play. Flag thrown as well.
It appears to be against Tennessee.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Defense, number 56. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
And that's Akeem Ayers, third-year linebacker from UCLA. Ayers, who suffered an ankle injury in the second preseason game against Cincinnati, told us yesterday that the pain is minimal now, but it was going to take a little while just to get back into that groove. Now, this game is not over. There's still time on the clock. Majority of the fans have already hit the exits. Isaac Redman is in there. Roethlisberger, 153 yards. Roethlisberger to Cotchery. Ben Roethlisberger has just gone over 30,000 yards passing for his career, the 35th quarterback in NFL history to top that mark.
And he's earned it today.
Pittsburgh Steelers record, he had already had that mark, topping Terry Bradshaw. The next one on his list is touchdown passes. He's got 191 for his career. Bradshaw finished with 212. Down by 14, Steelers finally getting into a rhythm here. Emmanuel Sanders over the middle.
Well, the Titans are just rushing 3 and 4 men. They're giving Roethlisberger time to throw, and that may backfire on them right now.
Down to 2:45 left. Steelers have 1 timeout remaining. Roethlisberger 174 yards.
And again, it looks like just a 3-man rush, although Ayers is looking like he may come right up the middle.
Roethlisberger, low throw, it's handled by Sanders. Clock is moving though, they're down by 14. Second and 4 now. Have to work quickly here. Roethlisberger looks. It's caught by Redman. He's tackled just inside the 5 as we hit the 2-minute warning. So the Steelers still alive. They trail by 14. 2 minutes left. Timeout was called with 2:02 left. This is a question. Do you just wanted to go to the 2-minute warning and save your timeout, or use your timeout before you hit the 2-minute warning? The Steelers elect to call the timeout.
Yeah, I think that's a good move by the Steelers. The clock is going to stop after the next play, and they're thinking that they're close enough now that it's well worth the timeout there.
They just put 20 minutes on the clock, so Steeler fans are rejoicing at the adjustment.
Well, I expect this game to end as it started.
In strange fashion.
In very strange fashion.
First and goal from the 4.
So first and goal now for Pittsburgh. 2:02 left.
Well, this is really where they miss Heath Miller.
No doubt about it. Miller out after the torn ACL at the end of last season. Activated off the PUP list, but not ready to go yet. First and goal for Pittsburgh. Down by 2 touchdowns. Roethlisberger out of the gun. Roethlisberger throws. It's knocked away by Werner. Cotchery, the target. And now that's the 2-minute warning with 1:59 to play. Steelers are out of timeouts. They're down by 14. 1:59 to play. 4th quarter here in Pittsburgh, Tennessee with a 16-2 lead on the Steelers. And Pittsburgh with a 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Pittsburgh turned it over twice here today. They were -10 in turnover differential last season. Tennessee did not turn it over here this afternoon. One of those turnovers turned into 7 for the Titans. 2nd and goal. Roethlisberger over the middle, juggled, incomplete. Isaac Redman with Zach Brown there defensively for Tennessee. 1:55 left.
Trying to get Redman on a linebacker over the middle. Just a 4-man rush, but Brown does a nice job there. Ball thrown just slightly behind Redman. If he gets it out in front, maybe he can make the catch and struggle to get into the end zone. But just a 4-man rush for the Titans is giving Roethlisberger too much time to find somebody.
2 more cracks at it here. Looking for a touchdown and an onside kick. 3rd and goal for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger swings it to the outside, and Redman is drilled. Zach Brown again on top of it, and it's 4th and goal.
Yeah, they can't waste any time. They got to get right to the line of scrimmage. No timeouts to work with. This ball thrown high to Redman. He had to twist his body to make the catch.
Last gasp of air here for Pittsburgh. 4th and goal. need a touchdown. Roethlisberger. It's caught. Kotchery. Touchdown, Steelers. Pittsburgh not dead yet.
Kotchery from the right side of the screen is going to get a nice little rub pick route there. Tight end David Paulson coming out there, making the defender go over the top, and that allowed Kotchery to get underneath and get the score.
Extra point from Sweezum. It's a 7-point game with 1:23 left. 9 plays, 75 yards. It took 2 minutes and 31 seconds for the Steelers to get down the field and put themselves in a position to make this one interesting. With the onside kick coming. Kotchery able to free himself against Sensabaugh.
Really a smart design on that play. Watch as Paulson comes out here, and Kotchery's going to work his way underneath, and the traffic is going to be just enough for Kotchery to get inside of Sensabaugh. Perfect throw by Roethlisberger. Touchdown, Steelers.
And a simple setup here. Onside kick. Tennessee recovers. Game is over. Pittsburgh has no timeouts remaining. Last time the Steelers have recovered an onside kick, you have to go back to December of 2007. Sweezum will attempt to make it happen here for Pittsburgh. Tennessee lined up at the 45-yard line. Ball has to travel 10 yards. Pops it up in the air. And recovered by Tennessee's George Wilson. He came over from Buffalo as a free agent, and Wilson has just secured the win for the Titans.
What an effort by Wilson. Seeing this popped-up kick, perfect kick by Sweezum. Mike Munchak extremely happy with this opening day win. Watch the effort by number 21 to go up and get this one. Just as he's hit by the rookie Jarvis.
Dan, George Wilson is a safety, but he is a former wide receiver.
Yeah, he looked like one, didn't he? That
sure
looked
did.
like R.C. Owens of the 49ers back in the 60s, catching an alley-oop from Y.A. Tittle.
The Tennessee Titans. Last year, a team that opened up 1-4, had so many problems coming out of the gates, and then struggled at the finish line last year as well. Tennessee believes that they're a legitimate threat this year in the AFC. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, you have to go back 11 years. The last time they lost a home opener. That is before Ben Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger has never lost a home opener in the NFL.
And you got to think that Titans owner Bud Adams is extremely happy, having spent all that money. He says, I want to see results. I love this result.
GM Rustin Webster and the Titans spent $100 million this offseason to improve the roster. The Tennessee Titans have come into Pittsburgh and knocked off the Steelers on NFL kickoff weekend. 16-9, Tennessee over Pittsburgh. The Titans will be in Houston next week. The Steelers will head to Cincinnati. Final score, 16-9. Tennessee, the win. So that'll do it from here in the Steel City. For Dan Fouts, the rest of our CBS crew, Ian Eagle, so long from Pittsburgh. JV and the crew in New York coming up. You've been watching the NFL